Welcome to Lift Where You Stand, a podcast for homeschool moms learning to build real confidence, not from having it all together, but a God confidence that meets you right where you are. I'm your host, Marcy Lovelace, and if your homeschool feels a little messy, loud, or uncertain today, you are in the right place. You don't need a different life to feel more confident. You just need a different way to stand in the one you already have. I've been there. I see you. And I'm here to lift you where you stand. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode, another podcast, another week, Lift Where You Stand. So glad that you are here today. Today, we're going to talk about a question that every single one of us have asked or will ask or revisit again and again. But the question is how do I choose the right homeschool curriculum? Okay, especially in the beginning, if you're just starting, this is a very overwhelming decision that we take upon ourselves because we have a lot of other things going on. But if you are a new homeschool mom, you have probably discovered that there are a gazillion options to choose from. And there are so many great ones. There's amazing websites out there. There's moms that are online telling you what curriculum that changed everything for them, right? You see it all the time. Okay, and as you are looking for a new curriculum, there are probably lots of feelings of excitement, but speaking from experience, you probably feel a lot of overwhelm too, because the reality is, underneath all of that curriculum and your decision to homeschool, underneath all of that, there is even a deeper question that we need to address. And that is, how do I know I'm doing this right? Sound familiar? Or what if I choose wrong? Or what if my child falls behind? Each one of these questions addresses this deeper fear that we have that we're going to mess everything up. And it's going to be dependent on the curriculum that we choose. Okay. If you are feeling any of these, know that you are not alone. I have felt every single one of these, especially during my first couple of years of homeschooling. And the fact is that you are asking, just knowing that you are asking these kinds of questions, it really tells me that you want to give your child something meaningful, something that's going to help them become the person that God has intended them to become. Okay. We think that there must be this perfect curriculum out there. And today I want to help you choose a curriculum, but I also want to help you step back and remember something that I didn't really understand in the beginning that took me quite a little bit of a time to be able to understand. And that is simply is that curriculum, it is a tool. It is not a taskmaster. It is not the heart of your homeschool. And when I first started homeschooling, you can go back and listen to episode 1 on why we started homeschooling. But when we decided to homeschool, I was clueless. Like, you think that you feel unprepared. I felt like that times 10. I was like, really, I had no idea. I didn't even know where to begin. I had no clue on how to teach my children or what to even teach them. Overwhelm was an understatement at this point. But I knew one thing. I knew that this is what Heavenly Father wanted me to do. And so I moved forward with faith, even though I had no idea what I was doing. So this is when a curriculum landed in my lap. And God was really, really good at giving me line upon line as I needed it and as I grew and learned throughout the years. And at this point, this curriculum, a friend told me about. And as soon as I saw it, I didn't look back. I jumped in. It was the Good and the Beautiful curriculum. This was before that she sent out physical copies. I just printed out the PDF, and that's what we used. And it's this curriculum, as far as curriculums goes, it was a fantastic mixture of everything that you think should be in a good curriculum. There was lots of all the technical stuff, but there was beauty and art and stories were used throughout it as well. I remember feeling like I just found the perfect curriculum and the rest of our homeschool, it's already written in the sand. Like it's already there. My boys had already graduated with flying colors in my eyes at that time because of the curriculum. I was that excited about it. Okay, this magical curriculum would make everything click and make everything in my life easier around homeschool. And I, at this point, was starting to feel like a real homeschool mom. I was legit. So we used this curriculum for years. It was everything we did. It was perfect because I didn't know anything else. And now I will say this as far as curriculums go. The Good and the Beautiful is fantastic. I I was just using it wrong and I allowed it to be my taskmaster and not just a tool. I let it rule our day and I didn't allow for the spirit to adjust for different things that came up. Okay? And I measured a lot of our success on whether or not we accomplished the curriculum or not. Okay? And this can happen with any curriculum that you get. It's not just this curriculum. Really, any curriculum that you choose, the things that I'm going to be talking about today, is if you really try and focus on them, it's going to change your experience around the curriculum, any curriculum that you do choose to have. Okay. So, um, today, I want to help you choose the right curriculum for your family at this season in your life. The best curriculum is not the one that works for everybody. The best curriculum is the one that is going to serve your family that God gave you and this season in your life. Okay, so before you go and buy anything, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. I so wish someone would have walked me through this because I didn't even think about this. This wasn't even on my radar. I just figured there was a curriculum that would fit exactly what my family needed all of the time, that would cover all the subjects. And if you're thinking of changing curriculums, this is also a really good time to take time to ask yourself these 3 questions. So, the first question I would ask yourself is, what season is my family in right now? Do you have toddlers running around? Are you teaching multiple children? Some curriculums require a lot of one-on-one with each child. And if you have multiple children, then some curriculums may not be realistic or they may still need some just adjustment in whatever situation you are in life. Are you in a season where simplicity matters? Okay, this is a really big one. I hope you realize that each family looks very different. And because of that, your homeschool is going to look very different. Okay. Your homeschool is really more about the connections that you're making and the relationships that you create in your home than the curriculum. Okay. If you have a very high expectation to finish a really intensive curriculum, but you have a lot of little kids, or you are pregnant and are going to have your baby during the year, or you're going through an illness, or you are caring for someone with an illness, you are going to want to choose a curriculum that is less rigorous and more of a life curriculum and that's less academically demanding, especially on the one-on-one. Okay, sometimes the best curriculum is not the most impressive one or the most popular one. Sometimes the best curriculum is the one that just allows you to actually enjoy your kids during this season of life. They aren't going to be around forever. I know it feels like they are sometimes, but this is a very short season in your life. Okay, the second question that I would ask yourself is, what does my child need? Okay, every child is different. Some children, they love independent work. Some need conversation and do really well talking things out and through things, and that's the way they think. Some kids learn really well by reading. Others learn really well by listening. Some needs some need hands-on experiences, and some need just a little extra time. Okay? What does my child need? The goal isn't to make every child fit the curriculum that you choose. That shouldn't be your goal. You shouldn't buy your curriculum and then say, okay, each one of you are doing this and child fit this curriculum and done. Okay. The goal is to find tools that help your child to grow. And you remember, see, notice how I said tools. It's not a curriculum. The goal is to find tools to help your child grow. Okay. Think of it almost as a job interview. Okay. The curriculum that you are interviewing or researching, you are researching and interviewing each curriculum to see if it's going to fit your needs during this time in your family's life. Okay. If it's not, say, see you later. Okay. Really focus on what does your child need. Okay. The third question, what kind of teacher am I? This is a really important question. And if you have no idea, that is totally okay. But just start thinking about it. Okay. I didn't think about this for years because I allowed the curriculum to rule my day. So it didn't matter to me what kind of teacher I was because all I had to do was read the lines in blue to myself and the black words I read aloud to my child. So there was very little prep work. Everything was open up and go. And so I never really thought about the way that I function the best. What is the best for my family? Okay, so here are the kind of questions that you can ask to kind of start reeling your mind around it is, do you thrive with open up and go? Is that your jam? That could be your jam, and that totally would be fine. Do you enjoy planning? Do you need flexibility? Do you need something that tells you exactly what to do? Or do you like to be able to fly by the seat of your pants? Okay. Whatever the answer is, take note. There isn't a wrong or a right answer. There is no shame in knowing yourself. And a curriculum that overwhelms you may not be the curriculum that's right for your family. And that's okay. One that's going to have a little bit more rigor, but you need more flexibility. There's no shame in saying that is not right for my family, even though it worked for the Joneses down the road. Okay, so just be aware of that. Another thing to take into account, you don't have to use the same curriculum for every subject. So in the beginning of our homeschool journey, we were very loyal to one curriculum for years. But then we started to venture out and found other amazing options. So we now pick and choose depending on what works for our family during that time. Okay. I don't finish every curriculum that we start. I don't do everything that is asked in every curriculum. We take what is useful and then we leave the rest. It is a tool. It's not a taskmaster. Okay. So now I want to kind of switch gears for a second. If you haven't bought your curriculum, this is what I would do. If you have bought your curriculum, I would still do this and then adjust where needed if you see that there is any adjustment that is needed to be done. And honestly, there is good in every single curriculum. And I'm a firm believer that any curriculum that you have, if you use it as a tool, you can make any curriculum work in your home. But knowing what I'm about to teach you is so important in understanding what the needs are for your family. So here's what I would do. Don't start with a curriculum. Start with a vision. You know the famous line in Alice in Wonderland when the cat asks, "Where do you want to go?" to Alice, and she responds, "I don't know." And the cat responds, "Well, then it doesn't matter which path you take," right? If you don't know where you're going or where you want to go, then it really doesn't matter which path you take. Okay, so before you choose what your children will learn, I want you to really think about why you are educating them. Okay. Every curriculum that has been created has been built around someone's belief about education. Every curriculum. Some curriculums, they focus heavily on information. Some focus on skills, creativity, discussion, or other great ideas. Okay, they're all different and it all depends on the belief of education of the creator of that curriculum. Okay. Other curriculums focus on beauty and imagination. Okay. There is value in many different approaches. And knowing this fact, I hope that this gives you permission to create an education based on your beliefs on education for your family. There isn't one perfect curriculum out there. There isn't a book that has all of the information that we need to know before the age of 10. Learning is relative. Charlotte Mason said that an education is between a child's soul and God. That means that everyone's education can look differently and uniquely. So the more important question is going to be, what do you want your homeschool to create? Okay, do you want your children to simply know answers? Or do you want children who know how to ask questions? Do you want your children to finish assignments? Or do you want children who love learning? Do you want children who can memorize information or children who can think and create and reason and contribute? Okay, this is where choosing curriculum becomes less about finding the best one and more about finding the one that best aligns with your family vision. And this is where I want to talk about something so deeply that I have come to like firmly believe in, but I didn't understand for probably 5 or 6 years into our homeschooling journey. And that is the simple of the stories matter. The books we read, the people we study, the ideas that we introduce, they shape our children in so many ways that we don't even understand. Okay. Think about the difference between saying, today we're going to learn about Abraham Lincoln. Okay. You pull out a textbook that has all the facts about Abraham Lincoln versus a story about him. And today you tell your kids, today we are going to spend time with a man who faced incredible challenges, who continued learning, who persevered through hardship, and who had to make difficult decisions. Okay. The second option invites your child and yourself into a story. And in my early years, we read very little. We hardly read anything out loud. So together we read very little. And even individually, my kids would read for maybe 20 minutes a day. We were so focused on finishing the curriculum that it left little to no room to read together. And this was a really big turning point in our homeschool when the Spirit let me know that we weren't being inspired in our homeschool. I wasn't being inspired. My children weren't being inspired. And when I realized this, I entered another journey of what an education can look like that inspires and uplifts. Okay. Stories have power. Throughout history, people have learned through stories. We remember people. We remember courage. We remember sacrifice. We remember beauty. The greatest education isn't just information being shoveled into our mind. That's not what an education really is. But it's the ideas and the lessons, one by one, that shape our heart into creating the person that we are to become. Okay? So before you hit purchase on that curriculum, or if you've already bought the curriculum, I want you to ask, does this fit our family? Not the family that you see online, your family. And is it going to create connection? Will this give you opportunities to talk and to explore and to learn together? Does it inspire curiosity? Will your child walk away wanting to know more and be excited? Does it bring peace to you? Okay. It doesn't make it easy every day. Homeschool is still hard. But does this tool support the kind of atmosphere that you want in your home? Okay. I want to leave you with this thought. You cannot buy your way into becoming the confident homeschooling mom. Okay? Confidence doesn't come from having the perfect curriculum. Confidence comes from knowing your why. It comes from learning your children. It comes from showing up again and again. And most importantly, it comes from trusting that God knows your children. He knows each one of them. He placed them with you. The curriculum matters, yes, but it is not the thing that makes your homeschool beautiful. The beauty comes from the relationships and the conversations and the stories and the moments where learning happens when you aren't even planning it. Those are the beautiful moments. So, yes, choose wisely and choose prayerfully, but don't choose from fear. You are not trying to recreate someone else's homeschool. You are building the education of your family. And that is what it means. Like that's why we do this. That is the beautiful thing at the end of the day is the culture that we have created in our home. All right. That's all I've got for you this week. Go be with your family. Remember, life is good. We'll see you next week. Take care. If something in this podcast resonated with you, I would absolutely love it if you could like and subscribe and share with other moms that could use it. If you want to go deeper and find out how you can get more support from me, check out my website, upliftingmayhem.com/lift. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. What's the worst that could happen? You might find out what I have to offer doesn't match what you are looking for. But what is the best that could happen? This could be a turning point for your homeschool, and I am ready to help you get there.